What's up, y'all? We are back for another week here on the Saz and Four podcast, and we got a couple of special guests. Some of us still recovering from a long weekend, but we still made it out, man.
And this nigga eating chicken, man. This nigga eating
This
chicken.
nigga Corey.
Turn it off, bro.
Corey, what you doing, Bo?
Come on, man.
You just have to be
Corey,
black.
and he got to advertise his catering business, bro.
Can't be
Yeah,
me.
go ahead, advertise your business. You want to eat chicken and shit, man. Come on, bro.
Shout out to the game. They know barbecue. Y'all hit me up. Y'all need catering done. Y'all need food made. Just hit me up.
Facts.
This man do everything from wings to gator.
Yep. If y'all ain't know, Corey sponsored the Montgomery, Alabama brawl. You didn't see him on the side, but he was passing wing plates on the side for everybody that was involved.
Had to make sure my brothers and sisters were eating good.
Yeah, that's the only gator we'll tolerate on here because fuck the Florida Gators, but that's for the college football episode. Yeah, but fellas, we got some guests on the show this week. We're doing the AFC North and the NFC North. So I'm going to introduce my boy Trav first. Trav, let him know where you at, what city you from.
What's up, man? It's Travis. I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but I've been in Dallas for 10 years, so, about to rep my squad, the Packers, you know how it is.
Yes, sir. Got my boy Allyn.
Yo, what up, y'all? Here in the foe, just out here. But first things first, I just want to say shout out y'all, man. I'll be listening to y'all at work. Dre had me cracking up last week.
I just had some shit on my chest. That's all.
He was holding that for a while.
Yeah, and then we got our guy Abdullah. Abdullah, let him know where you from, who you representing.
I'm repping Green Bay. From Africa, really. Half Ghanaian, half Gambian, but I've been living in D.C. for like the last 10 years, so got to be in commander country, sadly.
And I had to bring my African brother on here. I had to get the representation on here.
And ain't no Sally since we sent y'all away with an L. So.
Hey, no, that's true.
No, man.
It was fluky, but it's all good. It was fluky, but okay.
Woo. Ain't no flukes. It's just W's and L's, and y'all got that L. But this y'all, we did our episode last week. It's about y'all.
I bet.
It's about y'all.
Oh yeah, I'm representing the Steelers, y'all. I didn't point that out. I'm representing the Steelers.
Yeah, so we're gonna start off with the AFC North. So Brad, Allyn, this is y'all division. Whichever one of y'all want to start off, man. What's up with y'all Steelers, man? Cause y'all got the Steelers gear on. So, Brad, what's up, man? Let's talk AFC North. What's good with the Steelers, man?
I feel like the Steelers had a pretty solid offseason this past offseason. After coming and having kind of a weird, we started off with Mitchell Trubisky last year, which to everyone's surprise did not go well. I don't even know why that was an idea or a thought. We ended up switching to Kenny Pickett about halfway. Ended up the season, I thought, pretty strong headed into the offseason. I knew we had some offensive line continuity issues that needed to be addressed, but I thought they got better as the season went along. We still got Najee. George Pickens is going to be, in my opinion, next man up alongside, the LSU boys that BTR want to shout out with Justin Jefferson and the other guy from Cincinnati, I can't think of his name right now.
Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase. So, I think Pickens is right behind those boys. He's going to be that next wave. He already pulled off some amazing catches last season. We still got Najee back there holding it down. That will be a question next offseason as whether or not we sign his fifth-year option. I've heard rumors that we might not. I've heard rumors that we'll have to see. And there are fans that believe that we will regardless. So I don't know if Allyn has more, ideas and opinions on that, but I felt like Najee's been solid. I think just our offensive line hasn't been where I think Steeler fans wanted to be. But I think we're coming along defensively. I think the biggest pickup was getting a former LSU boy in Patrick Peterson, just with his knowledge from the back end and knowing how to play the D-back position really will help the young guys we have. We did lose Sutton, but Sutton was here or there, and he could be missing in some games. I'm just glad we kept Mika. We have Patrick Peterson back there. We have some other guys that I think will solidify the defense even more. So I think we're poised to have, I think, a sleeper type season where we're going to have a pretty decent record. We might slide in as a wild card. If I had to be completely honest, and I hate saying this, but Cincinnati is very much going to run this division until they feel like they can't run it anymore or they have injury threats. So, but I still think we're going to remain competitive. I think, we'll still be a team that'll be in the thorn of everybody in the AFC North. When you come to Pittsburgh, it's not going to be an easy game. We're going to make it physical. We still have Hayward. We still have Watt. We still got guys that are thumpers in the back end. So it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a cakewalk coming into Pittsburgh. We just happen to play in the division where you have everybody's good. There's 3 quarterbacks at any given day can throw for over 50 and 3 touchdowns. When you have Watson, you have Burrow, and you have Lamar. So we just happen to play in the division where we probably on paper have the weakest quarterback, but the team around him is just as strong as anybody else in the division. So, Allyn, I'll let you go ahead and chime in, man. Being that you're, I guess, what's your thoughts on what we did this offseason and what we did maybe in the draft? I didn't speak on the draft that much, but we did pick up Joey Porter Jr. I thought that was just the perfect fit. Getting the offensive lineman from Georgia was real key to shore up our offensive line even more and add some depth, as well as getting a sleeper. I think if we can convert that tight end from Georgia and give him some schooling, I think he'll be a beast in years to come. But what are your thoughts, Allyn, on what we did this offseason?
So, as you mentioned, picking up Patrick Peterson, I mean, some may say like he's regressed, he's old in age, but you're still talking about a former All-Pro, one of the top guys who has the knowledge that he has in the system. And then also, drafting Joey Porter Jr., I think that makes it even better because now you actually have some veterans who are back there that he can actually lean upon. Like, of course, as you most would think, like when you think of the Steelers, you think of defense. So our questionable areas has always been our secondary. Like you would just think of Minka, like we had Joe Hayden, but we didn't have him last year. And so now it's like we have some vets and we have a young stud that I would say is a still, especially in the 3rd round or the 2nd round. So defensively, our secondary should definitely improve because there were a lot of occasions to where in moments we just gave up big plays. And so I just think having those guys would definitely be quite an improvement. I think still waiting to see how it plays out, but just the one of the most recent acquisitions in K1 Alexander. I'm very curious to see how that plays out. He's a guy that plays with a lot of energy, especially in the inside linebacker. And it always feels like we always having like that issue at the inside linebacker position. And then also forgot who we had to fill in because help me remember, Brad. Did we let go of Devin Bush? I think we did.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. We let Devin Bush go.
Yeah, so seeing who can actually fill in, right? So like now,
he would show up some games and have a great game, and he would turn around the next game and you'd never hear his name called till like the 4th quarter on some random play downfield, and it's like all the predictions in the world when they drafted him were like, oh, he's going to be the next, and he flopped. Like from Steelers expectations, when you think about linebackers, he flopped, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, because and then also thinking about the shoe that he was trying to fill in. You're talking about trying to fill in the shoe of Ryan Shazier. So it's hard to do that. So just
very hard.
So from an offensive standpoint, we still have our guys. The main thing that I'm really wanting to see, as you mentioned earlier, we basically got the 4th best QB on paper in the division. So as long as he continues to grow as he did in the last 6 to 8 games of last season, even just looking at the series he played in this preseason game, he was making great reads. As long as that continues to grow, that's really the main thing that I want to see. Our offensive line, like early on.
We picked up a sneaky. We did do a sneaky pickup. We stole one of the Eagles' offensive guards. That was a sneaky little free agent pickup that we got, and he's competing for the starting guard spot on the offensive line. So I think that'll help shore that up as well with Kenny Pickett's development as a quarterback.
Yeah, so now I think for me, the biggest thing is Matt Canada.
I didn't even touch that because I'm going to go on a rant, and I don't want to go on a rant right now. I'm trying to be composed.
So I won't. I'll say that for you, but he's really the main person I'm going to be looking at this year. We've heard from a lot of former players. I'll just use Steve Smith as an example. He said, "Yo, when you look at the play calling, it looks like he's calling a high school offense." And it's like we're in the NFL, so it's like I don't need you to act like the Kansas City Chiefs. However, I do need you to utilize the field in a manner, because like even as I look at some of these next gen stat charts, like a lot of the incompletions, everything is always on the sideline to the boundary. And it's just like, bro, like we're only using 2/3 of the field, and what we can expose most, we can't even get to it. Now, part of it could be offensive line, but even with the protection, you could still see that the routes weren't even being looked in that direction at all. So I'm hoping that he actually makes some calls to where actually we can be more explosive. Like you'll get George Pickens, who's explosive. Deontay Johnson can be explosive as long as he doesn't run backwards.
Exactly. Just quit tap dancing and get up the field, please.
And with Najee, the line got better, so he can catch the ball out of the backfield. So being able to use him in versatile ways and with the tight ends that we have, we just need to be able to utilize the players that we have, and that's really what I want to see. Like I don't want to see any sideline, quick screen, run the ball. Yes. I don't want us to be predictable, but I don't want us to look basic at the same time. So
yeah,
that's just going to be the main thing that I look for this season.
That's pretty much my summation without using a bunch of cuss words. But yeah, Matt Canada is the typical offensive coordinator from a 3A state champion football team in high school football, where he runs bubble screens and he runs out routes and that's it, and doesn't know how to use the seams. He doesn't know how to get vertical. It's pathetic. Watching our offense last year sometimes was bad. It was a slow grind. It was, let's hand it off to Najee this play when everyone in the stadium knows we have to run the ball. Let's try to get the ball to Pickett when you know everybody's going to be guarding Pickens or Deontay, but you're not sending him downfield no more than 8 yards. Like it didn't make sense. The pass concepts didn't make sense. I wish we would have.
I got a question for you. Do you think he did that to dumb down the offensive because who the quarterbacks are, or the quarterbacks at those times?
Well, see, that's the funny thing. You would have thought with us getting this Trubisky guy that I heard so much about, having been from. I live in the state of North Carolina and I watched Tar Heel football. And Terence knows how they
Hold up, man. Hold up, bro. It was a lot of mid selling with Trubisky, bro. I told you, bro.
Like the way they
everybody knew he was selling mid. Now, come on. Especially for him to go as high as he went in the draft.
But the way they hyped him up and the way the Bears traded up, you would have thought we were getting the second coming.
Bears ain't know what they was doing then.
We talking about the Bears.
I want to thank those Bears for those great seasons of Trubisky.
Bears been selling mid at quarterback since Rex Grossman. Well, look farther than that, but we'll get to that in a bit.
Exactly. I mean, just pathetic that I was like, when everybody was like, I was like, okay. I'm a Steelers fan. I'll wipe the slate clean, Trubisky. I'll give you a chance.
Look, that's honestly all we had to give him was a chance.
We gave him a chance.
BT asked me after
3 games in, I looked at my dad and I was like, if we don't get this bum off the field and put the boy in, and I mean, fans were frustrated. I could tell Tomlin, I think, was irritated, and it was just like, we're not going anywhere. Pickett, as soon as he came in, the offense picked up. The guys picked up. You started seeing getting Pickens involved. So
yeah, Brad, I'm gonna say this about Mitch, man. He ran an offense that you want to see that was very, very, very quarterback friendly, very up tempo, very main read, hot read. He didn't really do much reading the field. I didn't see much from him as far as reading the field. Plus, the NFL has a trend lately where if you're a white boy who's overhyped, like Will Levis, you'll go high.
Oh, wait till we get to the AFC.
Yeah, they just be
South.
picking
Wait till we get to that conversation.
Hey, don't forget you got to be athletic too, T. Don't forget you got to be athletic too. If you're not,
I heard that's crazy. I heard about the athleticism. I heard that he was supposed to be all of this as an athlete, and I'm like, where was it?
But wasn't Watson in the same class?
Yes.
Patrick
Mahomes. I understand Patrick Mahomes. He was at Texas Tech. They wasn't winning. He didn't have the buzz. So I understand that. Chiefs was the only team that actually did their homework with Patrick Mahomes. So I understand why Patrick Mahomes was drafted number 1. But you literally had a QB in the same ACC conference, won a national championship against Bama, went and played them twice. Did good against them twice. Beat Trubisky twice. But you traded up.
Keep going, Dre.
To get Trubisky.
Keep going. Traded up to get.
Did I not sit here and just say there's been selling mid at quarterback for how long?
A long time. A long time. I think.
And then they saw Deshaun Watson Pornhub, like his history. They was like,
Hey, but speaking of Deshaun Watson though, how do we feel about? We haven't touched on the Browns yet. So how do we feel? How they'll kind of? I know we're gonna get some predictions and everything, but how do you think they'll kind of compare to last year? Do you think they'll regress or it will get better? They got Nick Chubb still. I mean, I don't know how strong their offensive defensive lines are. I know they got a tandem at secondary, but how do we feel about Cleveland when it compared to last year? Because Watson hadn't played in 2 years, so now with a full season, how do we feel about Cleveland?
Cleveland has a squad, but
I don't trust Cleveland.
I don't either. I'm actually going to the game in Cleveland, so I'm looking forward. I
think it's an upgrade, but marginal. I mean, a whole year with Watson
going to be their issue. They're going to get into a lot of situational football, and that's where they're going to lose their games.
Yeah. I was about to say the same thing. It's their situational football that usually does the Browns in. They'll start off a game hot, and then the fourth quarter they clam up, they do something stupid, and they lose the game by field.
Yeah, what happened against the Jets.
Mm-hmm. Because. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just saying, with what Brad said about, kind of giving up the game away. I mean, that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, but are they going to be better? Are they going to be better when they have Watson for a full year? Because, I mean, we did see him come in. I know they played against Carson Wentz and, a terrible, offense with Commanders with Carson Wentz at the helm. Yeah. Are they going to be better having Deshaun Watson there the whole game? Because he actually shined a little bit in that game. So, my thing is that coaching is one thing, but if you have somebody who actually is just really talented and changes the game, and actually get to gel with the people that he's playing with, I mean, I think they're going to be better, just not by much.
I think it depends on who their receivers are. I don't know who their receivers are. Who is Deshaun Watson throwing to?
I mean, they got Amari still,
Cooper's good. Cooper's good, but they need more help.
Cooper's good.
Yeah. They do, and so
they're going to be a good running team. I'm definitely going to get
them. That's their bread and butter.
That's a given, though.
Chubb is always giving us trouble for some odd reason. Yeah. We can't get the grown man on the ground.
But the crazy thing is this last year when we played them, though, is we shut down Chubb, but it was just we would have Amari shut down for maybe,
it takes one, like you said, one play.
Then, the second half, this dude just hit a a complete 180, and we just couldn't guard the dude. We didn't double him. We didn't do nothing. We just left him on the island. And I'm like, at what point do you make an adjustment?
He started cooking.
You want to
in the
stop
second half,
Chubb, but at the same time, it's like, look, I'm not okay with Amari going off. Am I okay with Chubb going off? No, but I would rather not get cooked with over 150 yards throwing the ball. That means we didn't get any pressure. That means no one was on help. That means whoever you didn't make any adjustments to give whoever was guarding him help. I think it was Burns. Was it Burns? No, it wasn't Burns. What's the other dude's name? It was 25. Whoever 25 was, because it used to be Burns. He's not on the team anymore.
Or was it the other guy?
I think it was Sutton.
It was one of them two.
It was Sutton. He was getting cooked that game. The second half, he was giving up.
Two people were getting cooked that game.
Yeah, because Mika was flying around trying to cover for everybody, and then over the top there goes Amari downfield. So
yeah, man. But now we haven't mentioned a team that, Brad, you said that the North is the Bengals to lose. I think the Baltimore Ravens can give them a run for their money.
Yeah.
As much as we don't like the city of Baltimore as a city, we can't deny that they're a very good football team and they haven't been healthy. Like Cincinnati actually has kind of been, I don't say fortunate, but you got to think about the North the last couple of years. Pittsburgh had Big Ben on the way out, and then Kenny Pickett. Well, Lamar Jackson's been injured the last couple of seasons, and then Cleveland's been a mess. So, Cincinnati deserves all the hype. They got to the Super Bowl. They got to the AFC Championship game. But I think this is the first time that they're really going to have to go through a division that's going to be really, really, really strong across the board.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow has a calf strain that's lingering. So, my question to anybody who wants to pick it up is, can Baltimore possibly not only make the playoffs again, but win the North?
I mean, they finally got receivers now. I mean, Dave Flowers is cooking people right now in practice. Like he's somebody who's can really be help at slot, and then obviously getting Beckham Jr. Yeah. I mean, I think they have a chance. Yes. I don't know what their running game is going to be like because J.K. Dobbins seems like he's still not back to where he was before the injury. But I think they have all the tools. If Lamar can stay healthy, I mean, I think they got a shot.
If they give Lamar a chance to actually throw the ball, that they need. They have everything they need. Yeah. They're going to be another one that I think this division is going to be a bit of a bloodbath one way or the other.
Yeah,
somebody's going to either be 500 and be a team that nobody wants to play late in the season, or you're going to have a team that has to win 5 or 6 games, but it's a team that's only maybe lost 5 or 6 of their losses by 3 points because it's just a bloodbath.
That team returns in fourth place is going to be really good.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But the big pity out of the Bengals, remember, the Ravens did make the playoffs last year, even without Lamar down the stretch. And the Bengals struggle against that Ravens team.
They do.
And Dave, remember, and this is how you know how much I hate Baltimore, but I actually love Lamar Jackson and watching the Ravens. We actually went to Baltimore and watched the Ravens play the Bengals, and the Ravens won that game. And that's when everybody was fully healthy, and their defense actually did a good job against Burrow and Jamar Chase. So it's like Burrow is kind of a weird thing because he gets dominated by Baker Mayfield and the Browns, but then he has a winning record against Patrick Mahomes, but he struggles with the Ravens. So like T said, this is like
I really think what's going on with Cincy is that offensive line. When it comes to Joe Burrow, when he's got a clean pocket and he's able to sit back there.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought it up because guess who they got this offseason that nobody's been talking about? They got Orlando Brown Jr. from Cincinnati for Kansas City.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
They got. If you want to know his resume, here's his resume. When he was in Baltimore, Lamar was the MVP. Ravens was the #1 team in the AFC. We saw what he did when he was in Kansas City. We saw what happened to Kansas City against Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. They needed to address their line. They got Orlando Brown Jr. They went back to the Super Bowl. Mahomes was MVP again. I think he's going to make a great – I know Burrow dealing with the calf strain and everything, but I think Orlando Brown Jr. was one of the biggest pickups this offseason that nobody's really talking about because he's going to protect his quarterback. and he's going to do in a way that he's going to make you look good. I think Burrow's really going to put MVP numbers if he stays healthy. Stay healthy this year.
That's a good point.
If he can stay healthy. Yeah, if he can stay healthy, man.
If he stays healthy, he's a monster at that tackle spot. He's athletic as crap. For a guy that size, shouldn't be that damn athletic. And yeah, he can be a road grader and give all the lanes to the running backs for Cincinnati, or he can give Joe Burrow enough time to find Chase down the field. So that is a very good underrated pickup. I think
he's the highest paid too.
So could this division come down to like who is the healthiest quarterback at the end? Like
definitely.
Just the healthiest team.
I think who's the healthiest team. Yeah,
the healthiest
team. All their games going to be hell in December. We know how them cold games about to be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because look at all the places you got to go. You got to go to Pittsburgh in December, Cincy in December, Cleveland in December, where the average temperature is going to be anywhere from 25.
All y'all cities are not attractive at all. All y'all cities ain't not attractive at all. I'm not doing no day parties in them cities, bro.
That is the Steelers game.
Break the strap.
I fuck with Pittsburgh, but that's about it.
Not in December.
Week 3.
Yeah, not
in
December.
The Steelers game, but it is not in Pittsburgh. I am going to the Steelers game in Vegas when they play the Raiders for a reason. So, yeah, none of those cities.
The 49ers this year.
Yeah,
that's going to tell me. That's
the
Bengals.
So after their bye week, this is Cincinnati's schedule at the 49ers, Buffalo. They play the Texans, then at Baltimore. Pittsburgh. At Jacksonville because they won the division. Yeah. Then you got the Colts, that'd probably be a dub. The Vikings, that'd be a dub. We'll get to the Vikings later. But this is their final stretch. At Pittsburgh, at Kansas City, and then Cleveland.
Yo, some of these schedule makers have not been kind to some of these teams on some of these stretches. Some of these stretches have been OC.
There's some vendettas out there.
Hell.
There's some vendettas out there for sure.
I mean, November 12th, the Packers at Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I feel like we might clip the Cincy because Cincy's going to be looking towards that Kansas City game, and that might be a bit of a trap game playing us, although it's a divisional game. If both teams have good records, they're going to hype the hell out that game versus Kansas City. So
Brad,
they might just be looking ahead.
So, Brad and Allen, real quick, I'm looking at Pittsburgh's schedule. You have the 49ers week 1, but that's a West Coast team coming to the East Coast. It's 10 o'clock in their minds. That's a trap game for the 49ers. It's going to be a very physical game. Then you got Cleveland, then at Raiders, at Texans. So, can Pittsburgh start 4-0 before y'all play the Ravens week 5? What do y'all think, Allen and Brad?
When I did my prediction, I had us, I think 3-1. I think I was losing to the 49ers only because in my mind I was going back and forth.
So
I was looking at their defense and I'm like,
you do realize that you might see Sam Darnold week 1.
It's a possibility. Like that's how Brad is thinking is how I thought. We're not even thinking about the offense, honestly. We're just thinking about defensively. Like, can the line hold up?
What I'm thinking about. I don't give two. I mean, yes, they have Debo and Christian McCaffrey and all that, but I'm thinking about more defensively when it comes to the 49ers.
I'm gonna be honest. This is coming from a Panthers fan, and Steve Wilkes was the head coach, and he also worked on defense a lot of different places. The defense is not going to hold up how you want it to hold up. Steve Wilkes is an amazing coach. He's a man of man. He can coach you. He can do everything that you need him to do. But whenever you look back at his record, opposed to like how his defenses are ran, it's always going to be a hole somewhere. There's no telling where that hole is coming from, but it's going to be a hole somewhere. No matter if it's going to be, I doubt it's going to be from the line because they got the racist king there. So we just
I forgot about him. Yeah.
Don't nobody want to say he red hat.
No, y'all got a white quarterback. So you might be fine. He don't go too hard against white quarterbacks. So y'all might be fine. Yeah. Y'all might be fine. But so I'm looking at more the linebacking core and also along the lines of your secondary. and which Wilkes is a secondary coach. That's the crazy part about it. This is bread and butter, but he's missed a lot of opportunities, especially like looking at former Panther teams. He didn't do much after the Super Bowl with the team that with the cornerbacks that he had. Obviously, he didn't have anything in Arizona. When he went to, I think it was Mizzou. I cannot remember what college team that he went to, but he didn't do anything there with the secondary. They gave up a lot of passing yards. So if Pickens is dealing and he's looking good, you guys are going to get out in front.
Yeah, but it's Matt Canada who's the issue too. That's
it goes back to our offense. It goes back to Matt Canada.
Honestly, with our defense, I'm not concerned. I'm really not. Like personally, I'm not concerned.
Y'all have a top defense.
It's how they.
It's our offense has always been. There's only been a few years where I can say our offense outpaced our defense. Yeah. Only a few years in the last probably like 20 years.
Yeah,
it's always been
AB days, the AB and Le'Veon Bell days.
Yeah. The Killer Bees.
The Killer Bees.
Right.
So, I mean.
All right, y'all. So, we're going to make these AFC North predictions. So, we'll start with the Steelers. What do y'all think the Steelers record going to be?
I was trying to do this last night.
They play the AFC South, right? And the NFC West?
Yes.
Yeah.
I give y'all 9. That's
what I'm sitting on. I'm sitting on.
I'll give y'all 9.
Some of these games we always win one where at least one or two we're not supposed to win. So that's what I'm banking on, and I'm like, that's a Tomlin game. So that's a game where coaching is and then we always lose a game we're not supposed to lose. Like last year, we wasn't supposed to lose to the Jets.
Yeah.
We were supposed to beat Miami last year too, even as good as they were. And so
I have us 10 and 7.
I'm stuck on 9. I want to say 10. Last year I said 10.
I might have to move up to 10.
I'm saying 10.
I know. I just looked at their schedule. I'm thinking 10.
I might have to move up to 10.
When I did it just before we got on, I did 10 and 7.
I think y'all gonna split with the Browns. I do think that the Bengals are actually gonna beat y'all outright, but in both games, y'all gonna split with the Ravens because y'all always split with the Ravens for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That's always a split.
And who else? That Seahawk game is gonna be the one to watch.
That was the one where I was kind of going back and forth in my head.
I don't know. I'm just looking at this like November to this November schedule, like just Packers at home, at Cleveland, at Cincy, then fly out to Arizona, then back to New England by December 7th. It's gonna get
it's gonna be really depend on, has Arizona given up and just said fuck it, and has
I think they will. They will by then.
They say fuck it.
The Patriots haven't even started playing yet, and they've already said fuck it. We're in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. So by that point, they're going to be saying fuck it.
But you got to turn around where you playing in Arizona on the third on a Sunday.
Nah, Arizona coming to them.
No, they going. Arizona's that in
I'm looking. I mean, you still got a short week though. But I feel you.
Yeah.
Because Bill Belichick, no matter what, he gonna plan for y'all on the defensive side.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like 7-3.
They're not gonna move the damn ball offensively. Shit.
It lied to be 13, 11. It lied to be 7-9. We don't know.
It's gonna be ugly.
Then
at Seattle, then at Baltimore.
But we should win because by that point, I expect for the Patriots to be starting Zappy at quarterback by that game. So I feel like we can win. We can beat Zappy.
All right, what about Cleveland?
I give Cleveland 9-8.
What?
I said 7-9.
You mean 7-10?
Yeah,
7-10.
7-10. 7-10 sounds right to me too.
Yeah, 7-10. They're gonna be a very competitive 7-10, but that division is too strong.
You don't want to see.
It's crazy. Division is crazy, man.
I'm gonna say 8-9 just because I just feel like the Steelers are going to outpace them because I don't see Cleveland jumping the Ravens or the Bengals, and I feel like the Steelers are going to be that, like y'all said, that team that nobody wants to face, and they're going to be competitive. And I feel like Tomlin's going to win them like 2 games off the strength of his coaching. So they already, in my head, y'all already starting 2-0. So I think that gives them the edge over Cleveland. So Cleveland, just like I had to do with the Jets last week. Cleveland proved me wrong. I'm picking y'all. Y'all gonna be fourth in the division this year with a losing record. I'm giving y'all 8 games. That's why.
I'm giving them that too, man. Because I'm looking at. Yeah, I'm giving them a competitive fourth. I'm just looking at this schedule and just kind of how they got them joints lined up.
Speaking of Tomlin, I know Terence told me he had saw this on, I think it was either Instagram, for all the people out there that just want to hate and keep saying we need to get rid of Tomlin. I mean, going back to 2007, this man is 10-6, 12-4, 9-7, 12-4, 12-4.
No losing records.
8-8,
11-5,
no losing records.
11-5, 13-3.
That is very difficult to do.
8-8, 12-4, 9-7, 9-8. Tell me another coach
right there.
My question is, if they fired him, who you gonna pick up?
Exactly.
Who you gonna get? Not a soul. You can't replace Mike Tomlin.
I've asked the same question in the comments every year. All right, give me a name. Just give me a name, and they can't come up with one that makes sense. So I'm tired of the narrative that he needs to leave. No,
I'm gonna just put
every year is gonna win a Super Bowl, but
I'm gonna just put this out here. I'm just put this out here. Tomlin still has winning records without Big Ben, but yet there's a coach in Boston that hasn't having winning records since his all-time QB left. I'm just putting that out there.
Don't get too loud, Dre. Don't get too loud. Don't get too loud.
Talk about it. Talk about it. I said that same shit last week, bro. He ain't done shit since.
People had us winning only like 5 games last year, and we were 9-8.
That's real.
Talk about it.
That's real.
All right, Brian. I gotta reel you back in just a little bit, bro. I know you fired up, bro.
I had to get that off my chest. I'm sorry. I had to get that off. Year after year,
let my man go though.
All right, y'all. Baltimore. This is tough. I feel like they can.
My minimum for them is 12. My minimum for them is 12. My minimum for Baltimore is 12.
Minimum.
12. Yeah. Minimum 12.
Yeah.
Let Lamar stay healthy. 12. He gonna say
12-5. Yeah.
He gonna say y'all. He gonna be like, y'all forgot about me.
Yeah,
exactly.
I haven't. But I could easily see 12 because that last game of the season, when they play us, is going to depend on where both teams are at. If any of us are fighting for a playoff spot, that game is going to get real. That game might get flexed to a Sunday night game. Who knows? But
they got a tough schedule though.
They have a tough schedule.
I mean, they got.
I mean, it looks tough, but it doesn't look unbearable. I mean, like the only thing I'm seeing, okay, you got San Francisco, Miami may be all right. They got the Chargers,
Jacksonville.
They got
Lions. They got Seahawks. I mean, there's
gonna be a trap game.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's gonna be tough.
So they got the Lions. Yeah, so they got the Lions, but they got the Lions at in Baltimore.
It's in Baltimore. Yeah.
I don't care. Y'all know I don't like the city, but I like the team. No less than 12 for me. I'm stamping on that.
I think they're going to be the most talented. I think they're going to have
a lot of games.
So I hope them dummies are okay with that. Fuck ass niggas.
Damn. I give them 11.
That's
on some betting shit. I go 11.5.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they look like in this new offense because they don't have.
I'm curious to see what they do with a healthy Lamar.
Oh yeah. Roman, Greg Roman is gone now.
Yeah, he's out. So I mean, they got a
Todd Monken. Yeah, from Georgia.
Yeah,
that's gonna be an interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still gonna agree with Dre. I'm going 12.
12-5. All right, Cincinnati.
Man, this depends on Burrow, man.
If Burrow,
I said 11-6. Yeah. What? Hold on. Time out. 13 wins where, bro? Look at the schedule, bro.
If he's healthy, I had him winning 13. But I forgot about the calf strain when
we're not gonna talk about the North. We ain't gonna talk about the North. At Tennessee still is decent. Mm-hmm. They're physical, so that's not. And they always play Cincinnati tough. Jacksonville 49ers at Kansas City.
Minnesota
BT that's Kansas City, man. That's gonna be
BT.
Yeah, that schedule hell.
Hold on, BT been quiet this episode, bro. BT, bro, what's good? Joe Burrow, LSU boy.
I'm letting y'all cook, bro. I'm just chilling, though. I'm letting y'all niggas cook, bro. I'm just chilling. But Burrow, man, they say he's gonna be good, bro. So Burrow good. I'm going 12.
12.
Yup. All day,
Nah.
bro. We're gonna see y'all
think-
niggas.
I think 1, 2, 3 are
We
gonna be
coming,
like
bro.
neck to
Time,
neck.
bro.
1, 2, 3 are kind of gonna be
Hold
neck to neck.
on. Time out. Y'all hit roll time, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
God,
Travis.
yes,
I heard
all
roll
right.
time.
Wait. I forgot here. Oh man.
We got
Hey,
Shit.
knee high to tree high. That's how we
Florida
roll.
State. We got Alabama. We got 3/4 of the college playoff right there. Anyway,
man, that's a perfect transition, bro. So we're gonna go from the AFC to the NFC North. So Abdullah, my boy Trav, y'all representing Green Bay, man. How y'all feeling, bro? A-Rod is gone, the Diva is gone, but now y'all kind of under the radar. But I feel like y'all not talking about enough. You know, Jordan Love, I feel like he has a lot to prove, but y'all gonna lean on the running game. And y'all been drafting defensive players for years. I think that if the defense can perform, I think y'all have a shot. This division's wide open. This division is wide open.
Yeah.
You know, Minnesota.
It's quasi open. Let's say that.
Are y'all feeling the
Quasi.
love? Are y'all feeling the love?
Yeah, how y'all feel about love? How y'all feel about
I
love?
know.
What's
As
love
far
got to
as me,
do with it?
As far as me, I mess with Love. I've been waiting for this call
Needed
for
a bar
about
for
2
days.
years. Because, you know, Aaron Rodgers, that's my quarterback. I'm going to still watch him play in New York. You know, I got the T.O. tears. He's my quarterback. But, you know.
Facts, though. Facts.
Jordan
I
Love,
feel
your
it too. I
quarterback
feel
now.
it too.
But I really feel like I like the fact that we're under the radar because no one's seeing the work that we're doing. We got a pretty young team. And I think that works for us. Like, we got a lot of things that we can do. And just from a quarterback standpoint, I mean, outside the rest of the team, we got somebody who's going to run the offense. I love Aaron Rodgers. He's an all-time talent, great quarterback. But one thing he did last year when he didn't have his dude Adams there, he played buddy ball. He wanted to play with his friends. He wanted to make it more about him and his friends versus the team. So, you know, you got somebody wide open on a wheel route, and he waiting for freaking Randall Cobb to get open. You know, he holding the ball and he getting sacked, and he can't run or move like that. So he would force a lot of balls. And as great as he is, he still was the 12th or between 12th and 16th best quarterback far as his statistics last year. And we still did pretty solid. So I'm saying if we can get Jordan Love, who's going to run the offense, who's mobile, who's going to make the reads, who can make the reads. I mean, y'all saw the Eagles game. And then he's going to do the right things, and he's got some wheels. I think he just has to be as good as Aaron Rodgers was last year or slightly better, and we'll be fine. I'm not saying we're going to be world beaters. I'm not saying we're going to go out here and win the Super Bowl, but I feel like we do have a chance to become a contender within the division and, you know, make the playoffs, get a wild card or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of feel the same. I mean, I'm sad about Rodgers leaving just for how much he's done, like, you know, talent-wise. But I kind of felt like he was kind of taking the team in the wrong direction. I mean, he was looking a little washed last year. I'm not going to even lie. I mean, I was at that Commanders game. He didn't look good at all in that. And when it comes to this team, the division is completely wide open. Like, there's no one that's sitting there, like, as world beaters. Like, I think Minnesota's probably the most talented. But, you know, the only thing that I'm worried about the Packers-wise is on offense, who are you really going to rely on? There ain't nobody who has, like, a lot of years of experience, especially in the passing game. I mean, you got a rookie tight end. You got two second-year receivers. You know, they drafted Jaden Reed out of Michigan State. You're going to rely heavy on the run game. So if you are going to be coming from behind, you're going to need some experience to come through. And I just don't know if they have it enough. So, you know, as much as I want to be sitting here talking, you know, I feel like I'm going to be quiet and just see what happens because I really don't know what Love is going to be like. Like, I got faith, but I just don't know yet. If he plays to that level of Aaron Rodgers or maybe a little better than like last year's season, I think they got a chance because their defense is good. Their DBs, you know, Jair is still arguably a top 5 corner still. You know, they get Rashawn Gary back, who they lost halfway through the season last year. So, I mean, I'm a little I'm one of these people just like a little bit pessimistic because I just don't want to get my hopes up for this season because I feel like it's a little bit of a rebuild. But I do think that, their record could be pretty good just because their schedule isn't as difficult. And I just don't think that, Chicago, I think they've made, improvements, Lions as well. But I think the Packers could compete with any of those teams in that division. So.
And that's also why I'm not concerned either, because the team that's getting the most play right now is Chicago. Chicago, I mean, everybody kind of give the Lions, says like, okay, the Lions got the division, but people like trying to like talk Chicago into 12 W's. I'm like, bro,
no
No,
way.
I mean,
after that.
What I mean is like they trying to give him so much energy as if the gas is
especially after
right now. They got to bring that back.
Yeah, this last preseason game, I mean, they're talking about this 3 completions, 2 touchdowns performance by Justin Fields, and I like Fields, but I mean, the air yardage on that was 2 yards. He just threw it to
screen pass,
screen pass to Moore,
Herbert, and they taking off, and everybody's like, "Oh, MVP season." So like, I'm just like, I'm by my tongue. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna talk too much trash.
I'm waiting for game one. I'm waiting for game one. We play these motherfuckers.
I'm just chilling. Like I ain't
my thing,
but like in a couple games.
My thing with the Bears, because I was a huge Justin. I don't even like Ohio State, but I was like a huge Justin Fields fan. Like even him coming out the draft. So like I just want to see him do well, and I hated that he had drafted to the Bears because when he got drafted there, it was just a shit show. Like, so like, and I hate how the media trying to spin this like he's been like a bad quarterback or they try and call him a bust. But I'm like, but he had no weapons, no offensive line, no coaching, and the defense was regressing. So like, you drafted a quarterback and they had no plan. So now they starting to implement the plan. So it's like I don't even need the Bears to I don't know where people are getting 12, 10 wins from. I just need Justin Fields to look good. So they don't start this narrative like they need to ship him out of Chicago like he ain't worth a damn.
It's just the Bears they're an inept organization when it comes to it. I mean, they got defensive players who don't even match their coordinator scheme. They're getting tight ends from the Packers who are washed. So I'm saying like when I watch the Bears and I see what they're trying to do around the guy, it's more of a facade. Like once it's a matador. Type situation, because once you move that veil, like it's out there naked. They won't be able to perform as the hype in the media says. And I think that's just the thing with it. I mean, but I'm confident. I got confidence in our confidence in the Packers. I'm worried about the secondary as far as our safety. We never really addressed that situation once our safety left, and like the rest of the team went with Aaron Rodgers to New York. And then also I just want to make sure that we have like Stokes back in the fold as far as our cornerback situation. I think we'll be fine with Jair Alexander. I like Rasul Douglas. He plays some good press coverage. And then see how we get Keyshawn Nixon involved in
especially in the return game too.
Oh yeah, so the return game,
he's crazy good. In the return game too. Like he's this underrated player right there. But
as far as that defense, I want to see where they got him at.
Do y'all see? Go ahead,
Brad.
I was just gonna ask Abdullah and Travis. Do y'all see Detroit regressing, or do y'all see Detroit taking that next step?
I think the hype for Detroit is too large right now. Like I feel like if we went into a normal season like last year where we didn't expect anything, we would be like, yo, Detroit's actually nice. But after last year's performance, people think they're going to take some big giant step, and I just don't see it. Like I feel like they'll probably be still the same team, but that's not going to be enough for the people who are talking about them being like another division winner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just, I don't want to sound like a hater or anything. I just don't really see it. And I like Gibbs. I like Gibbs.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I see them sneaking into the playoffs. It's not going to be as a division winner at all. I see them holding it down at about 9 wins. I can get that to them.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say that people said they didn't like their draft, and as somebody who watches the division heavy, I like their draft. It was
I
kind
did
of
too.
scary to me.
I did too.
Especially getting the dude
They
from
got-
Alabama.
They got what they need.
Yep.
They just
They
picked
got what
Gibbs
they
too
need.
early. Like I think people
weeds.
didn't like it because they picked him so high in the draft. But when you really watch Jahmyr Gibbs, that kid can ball. Like I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, I would have taken him. Quick.
Yeah.
Problem.
He is a problem.
I just
like him.
yeah.
Trust me.
I know their wide receiver also from Alabama is going to be out off the gambling stuff. So
Oh yeah,
So-
Jameson
Oh
Williams.
yeah.
He's got to serve the suspension.
They need to trade him. They need to trade him. I know a team that actually would love to get him for a nice 4th round draft pick.
Curry selling already. Corey selling already.
I mean, I feel what y'all saying
Corey's
about.
scheming already.
I feel what y'all saying about the Lions though, because Lions. I mean, like, even with it's kind of weird to me because even with the Vikings being like the most talented team, the Lions are like the team that like everyone's like, oh yeah, this division is ours. Like I was saying earlier, but I just feel like when you have an up and coming team with all those expectations, year after year, like you have teams like that, it never works out.
Yeah,
it never really works out.
People love to crown somebody new. They don't like to see the
Yeah.
same team keep grinding.
Yeah.
So if they can find somebody new to jump on that bandwagon, they're gonna do it, and that's what they're doing with Detroit right now. And I'm like, you can go ahead and do it. I gotta wait and see. You know?
I do see Minnesota regressing though. That's just being completely honest.
Do I see
them
who?
I
regressing
definitely do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You see how many people they lost from that team?
Yeah.
Like they're not the
That-
same team anymore.
We're talking
Yeah,
about
and
Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
They lost a lot of dudes from the team, and I think also just like
And they won a
everybody
lot of
talks
close
about-
games. And they won a lot of close games last
Yeah.
year. That are you going to be able to recreate that? Because let's be real, like y'all know how I feel about Kirk, but the thing he did ball last season. Like last year, he actually had one of the best fourth quarters as a QB going into the postseason and everything. But it's just like this is really like a who tricked y'all division because it's like Minnesota. People going to think Minnesota because of like the Kirk and Jefferson connection, and then the Lions got the hype train. But it's like I'm like if Jordan Love just don't have like a high turnover problem or anything like that, like Green Bay to me has the best defense in the division outright. So they are.
There's no expectation with them, so they can just go in and ball.
Yeah.
And like I said, while we waiting for Rashawn Gary to come back, man, I mean, we got some heat in the tuck, bro. Like I don't know if y'all ever heard of Lucas Van Ness.
Luke Van Ness is a baller. Like he's just no one know about him yet. Like I mean he's young,
Okay.
no one will be knowing about him. But I mean their defense, for how much they've used draft picks on their defense should be good. Like I'm not gonna lie, as a Packers fan, I get frustrated anytime their defense ain't good because it's like every year we're using all these picks. But if I'm being honest, they were a decent defense the last few years, right? A really good defense. I think 2 years ago, not last year, the year before.
It wasn't their fault. They've also the 49ers. They did their job.
Yeah,
they did their job.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I mean, the thing is that if you can get, some pretty decent play from Love, this team could take the division. It's just not one that like everybody's thinking
open.
on. And like I said, it's the same
open.
thing about looking for a new champion. People want to knock over the team that's been there for a minute, so they're like, "Hey, the reign for the Packers is over," and it could be. You know what I mean? Like I said, I don't know until I see Love enough, but I feel like it's wide open. And Minnesota too. I think maybe people aren't talking about it as much, but I actually think they're going to really miss Dalvin Cook. I don't think Dalvin Cook is washed. I don't think they're kind of this whole like
Addison.
Yeah, like this whole
Addison?
young. Oh, Addison is
Get the fuck out of here.
bro. That kid is.
He is, but he's not Dalvin
Addison
Cook.
nice, man.
Okay, yeah, you see.
Nah,
That's
he's
Dalvin
nice.
Cook. Oh no, okay, I thought you were talking about the
Dalvin
receiver.
Cook.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the receiver. No, Dalvin Cook.
Madison.
The thing is that like with him, we're at this day and age where everybody's like, oh, running back getting old. Dalvin Cook is like 26 or something like that. He's like 26.
That's what's confusing to me. Like
he's not even old yet. So
Not
like
old.
I don't think he's washed at all. I think he's gonna make the Jets a lot better. So I really do think Minnesota's gonna miss him a lot.
Good question. Do y'all think I have a bye week too early? Because y'all got it in week 6.
Really
damn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
gonna
they-
hurt.
they-
Hell yeah,
That's too
that's
early.
early.
That's too early.
That's early.
You know what?
Well, for being a
That's
young
early,
team, maybe
For a young
not,
team.
but it
Yeah,
is
that's what I
early.
was
That
gonna
is early.
It is early. I think with a
That's
young
the first
team,
thing that I
I think it
noticed,
should help
and
us
I was like,
because
you could gas out late when you're trying to make that run and you're right there and having all those games can take its toll.
I don't know. Last year they were trash early, so maybe we'll get some luck.
I will say this: y'all do have the advantage where it gets to November and December. Nobody wants to go to Green Bay in November and December and January. So y'all will have the advantage if y'all get through these first couple of months with like a decent record. Y'all gonna be in that thing.
And if you look at their record early on, it's not that bad.
They might start 3-0.
Their record, their record is not that bad early on. Like it really gets tougher.
Y'all might start 3-0 and put up a
what's the first three? What's the at Chicago, at Atlanta,
home at Atlanta,
and then we got Saints at home. I think
please be the Saints. Please be the Saints. Please be the Saints.
That's why I started laughing quick.
I think we're good. I like that early for us, so we can go.
And then, like, even after the Lions game, y'all go to Vegas
at Raiders, Broncos.
All these games is like I low-key will have the Packers favor in, like on some real shit. On some real shit.
What people don't know about the NFC North is that we have the smallest travel out of all the teams.
True.
Like all the teams,
like y'all don't go. Y'all in the middle. Damn,
and they're all close to each other. They don't got
all
the
teams
anymore.
All of them are close.
Y'all got a mean little stretch though. Y'all do have a mean little stretch in the middle of the season. Y'all go.
No, that's why they got to start hot. They got to start hot because it ramps up.
But you're coming
LA, y'all got Vikings at home, Rams at home.
You're coming into that though off a bye, so it kind of like if you're a young team, you get a dose of 6 games up front. Boom, you kind of get regrouped. Matt LaFleur gonna have these boys primed and ready. So when we come into Denver, we go see Sierra husband. We go knock them niggas off. Then we got the Rams. Like we got some good games, but they not nothing that's gonna go too crazy. It's one of those games where I see all of these are up to us to lose, not
they very winnable game.
I ain't gonna lie. When they get to that Kansas City game, they're gonna be black and blue because they got Pittsburgh, LA, Detroit, Kansas City. Like there is a stretch there that's gonna be tough.
No disrespect, I ain't scared of Pittsburgh or LA, but like that team, I'm like okay, Detroit.
I like that.
I won't let nobody talk about my team like that. I won't let nobody talk about my team like that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Because I think that was the first game that Jordan Love started like 2 years ago when Aaron Rodgers got hurt, and they just blitzed him. They ran every blitz you could think of. They were just going like crazy on him, just throwing everything out the book. And we in our offensive line, we did some dumb stuff and put people who ain't even starters in the league starting that game. And then we didn't have David Bakhtiari either, the best left tackle in the game. Like so.
He's not better than Trent, dog. He's not better than Trent, dog. I'm not. You can cite your boy, but he's not better than Trent. I'm sorry, bro.
Come on, bro.
Trent different. Bro.
Trent kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Trent different.
But he nice. But you can look it up. But
Bakhtiari's nice too, though. Yeah, like
he is nice. Yeah. But me personally, it's Trent, man. Trent different, man. That man can play wide receiver if he wanted to.
But I think the thing with the Kansas City Chiefs is going to be an interesting game because it's going to be a revenge game for Love, low key, because he's going to have his receivers who he got rapport with, like Watson and Dobbs run 4.2s. Like so, we're gonna have our healthy, quote unquote. Hopefully everybody healthy, but he's gonna have a full complement of starters that he's been able to play with and learn. And then we got our freaking wide receiver. Nobody's talking about Musgrave. The new tight end.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how they gel with each other because, like, even with Rodgers last year, they started off terrible, but then by the end of the year, you saw him build connections with Watson. Dobbs was hurt, but when he was coming back, he was building a connection with him. So, like, if they can build that rapport, and if he's playing team ball like you were talking about earlier, you know what I mean, actually playing with the team, not just being, Rodgers ball, because I do think that was kind of a thing. I mean, Aaron just going to do what he does, and people aren't going to say nothing because it's Aaron Rodgers. But now you got somebody who they actually can coach up and all be on the same page. So chemistry-wise, the offense might be better. You just not.
I think it's definitely going to be better because they actually have went out and they worked out over the offseason. Aaron Rodgers didn't work out with none of them rookies on the offseason. He didn't want to see none of them boys on the offseason last year. And so now they have
Jeopardy. That nigga was hosting Jeopardy the whole offseason, bro.
And on the ayahuasca, like he was just wild.
Right.
He want to be Brett Favre so bad.
But I think like I think Love is going to be a success is because he's actually going to run the offense. When Matt LaFleur came in and we had Aaron Rodgers was like, okay, this is what I do. LaFleur was like, this is what I do, and we kind of mesh it. And he kind of veered away from some concepts. You're going to see some very clever play calls, things that mesh well with everybody's ability. You're going to see people running multiple positions. You're going to see 21 personnel. Like, you're going to see a lot of craziness. You're going to see 2 running backs in the back, and then, like, Love might take off and run. You know, you're going to see some wild stuff. So I think the creativeness in the playbook is going to be way wide open.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, let's be real. I mean,
Shanahan's coaching tree, right?
I believe
yeah.
So. Yeah.
So
I mean, look. Yeah, like I mean, look, Love is on the team because Rodgers was hard to deal with. So I think that's what they're hoping for now is that, like, look, we got a quarterback that we all feel good about. You know what I mean? That we all can be on the same page with. So I mean, we just gonna see if it actually works.
Okay, that's what's up.
He's actually from the coaching tree of the coach from the Rams.
Yeah, Shanahan had the other what's the other LaFleur?
That's his brother. Mike.
LaFleur. All right, fellas. So we're about to wrap it up. So we gotta do some predictions on the North. We'll start with the Packers, man. What y'all think Packers' record is going to be? I'm looking at the schedule. If I had to place a bet, I would say 8.5, but I'm going to say they can win 9 games. I think 9 games for now, but they could be more. It just depends, like you said, how a lot of games go. Do they beat themselves? I'll give them 9.
I did the same. I mean, I went back and forth on 8 and 9, and I mean, maybe this is me just coming from trying to be unbiased, but I felt like 8 to 9 was kind of the answer. So I went with 9 and 8.
I'm giving my boys 10. Just off the fact that I think I like this. I like the schedule.
I'm going 10.
I like the schedule.
I'm with you, Trey.
I like the schedule 10. And it's open. So yeah, give me the 10.
I'm going with 10.
I'll give y'all 9.
Yeah, I think 9. I think 9 is the safe bet right now.
9.5. Because I feel
like
man.
Make a decision.
You taking the over or the under on that?
Because I feel like
I can't get a 0.5 win.
I feel like
the Chargers game will be a
trap game. That's something to watch for.
Chargers.
Say it tied.
Chargers are going to be hard.
8-1. I say 8-1.
I tell you, based on what Trav and Abdullah telling me, I was initially at like 8 and 9, but I'm gonna push it to 9 and 8.
Yeah, because they're gonna get that Carolina game in December. They're gonna get that Carolina game. I don't know why y'all.
My team like that. Y'all ain't gonna talk. You ain't gonna talk about team like that.
Y'all feel so confident in Carolina. I don't
team like that.
Y'all feel confident.
Y'all gonna let them talk about y'all team like that?
The Carolina game.
Fight back, Carolina.
Hold up. My man Abdullah this is my photographer right here. I can't wait to put that Kodak on his face.
Nah, bro. Look, if you want to bump that 20 up to 40, I'm down, man.
Here we go.
I don't know why y'all feel so confident in Carolina.
What you want to bump it to?
I don't know what y'all be drinking.
Let's go.
Hey, look, bro.
This is what we want.
Hey, look. What you want to bump it up to, man? This paper route empire.
Hey,
That paper route.
I'm not playing, man. I'm trying to be unbiased. Out of all the games on here, Carolina is like an automatic dub. Like I'm not.
Okay, that's an automatic L.
Wow.
Hey, I low key think we gonna win that Kansas City game though. To be honest,
I mean that's gonna be a tough one. It's a Sunday night game too.
I just want to let you know, bro. You on the record right here. So when you
play
look
it back.
stupid,
play it back Christmas Day. Y'all play it back. It'll be a Christmas present.
We're gonna put this right on that Summer Jam screen. I need a picture of you giving me that $20.
I will see. That ain't gonna ever happen, but okay.
Oh, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, man. What the fuck you think this is, bro? This Paper Route Empire, nigga. What the fuck you think this is?
This how we almost
Come on, bro. But we'll see though. We'll see though. I ain't scared.
Y'all gotta move y'all game.
Nah, bro. In the words of the late great Bernie Mac, I ain't scared of none of you motherfuckers. I bet all of it. I ain't scared of none of you motherfuckers.
Y'all record this shit, man. Just play this back Christmas Day. That's all I'm gonna say.
We got you.
Yeah.
We had our L's on Christmas. That's crazy. We got cold on Christmas.
I ain't trying to do it to him, but okay.
Y'all getting cold.
Okay.
Y'all big cap.
Y'all gotta travel to get y'all ass
big
on.
cap.
That is crazy.
That big cap, bro.
Dave is betting Abdullah. Travis, we might as well go ahead and make a bet for the 12th because I'd be damned if you go sit there and let me say that the Green Bay Packers with love.
Oh,
here we go.
I remember last
I got a 5-0 stop for Green Bay right now. Y'all gotta come to us.
My question is, who the right tackle? Who the right tackle? That's my question. Who Green Bay right tackle?
Exactly.
It's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be a long ass day for love. A lot of broken hearts.
That time,
look,
we're good, bro. Like, hey, we got a top 10 offensive line, bro. We always have, bro. Like, chill. What you don't know is, like, we got a top 10 offensive line, bro. Don't like.
Pickett about to throw us a couple. He'll throw us a couple.
Oh, bro, I got Jair with 2. He gonna have 2.
We got Trav on the record. Alexander 2 picks. You already up 2 picks. Okay.
Hey, look, man. Jordan Love, Kevin Love, Caleb Love. What's Love got to do with it?
Caleb Love, come on, bro.
Actually, Sam's at $20 richer. Give me that.
Oh, man.
I wish I had.
Oh man, I wish I had my wallet on me right now.
That was my quarterback. I just don't know if y'all got the same offensive line as good as the Bama do last year or this year. So, like, that's the thing because we coming for him. To be honest. So,
all right, real quick, man.
That sounds good. That sounds good, but go ahead.
All right, real quick.
I'm gonna talk my shit, dog. Regardless, that's what we do. But go ahead, see my fault.
All right, Bears. I think it went more than 5 games, y'all. Yes or no? Real quick.
I gave him 6. I gave him 6.
Their record ain't.
I gave him 6.
Hard.
I gave him 6.
I'm giving him 6.
Like I said, I don't need him to go to the playoffs. I just need Justin Fields to have a good season so they can stop the narrative that he a trash QB.
Yeah,
that's all I need.
If he wins 6 games, that's not happening, my guy. Like they're gonna put it on the black.
Yeah, they are.
Travis,
Deshaun Watson won 4 games. Deshaun Watson won 4 games and got $230 million.
Yeah, I know, but look, for a black quarterback, they always put the leashes short, man. So, like, I mean, if he goes with
Deshaun Watson had the Jergens and he got another opportunity.
I'm looking at their schedule.
We gotta stop now.
Hey, bro.
I'm looking at their schedule. They got 3 automatic wins. It's gonna be a lot of toss-ups for them if they're gonna get more than 5. It's a few toss-ups that they're gonna have.
Their record ain't that bad, or their schedule isn't that hard.
Hey, like Corey said, if they don't want Justin Fields, I know a team that would take him if the Bears don't want Justin Fields no more. Shit, especially with EB, shit. All right, keep playing.
Hey, no faith in Howell? No faith in Howell?
Huh?
No faith in Howell?
Shit, we can have both, my God. Shit, we need a backup too. What you mean?
True.
What you mean?
All right. So Minnesota, real quick. More than 10 wins?
No.
No.
I say right.
I say
think
right
at 10, man.
I can right at 10, yo.
Look, I think they're gonna regress, but I still think they're gonna be pretty good. I mean, I think right at 10. That's what I'm gonna say.
I'm thinking 8, 9. I'm thinking more 8, but
I got them at 9.
They had Philly second game.
Damn.
It's like last year. Last year, same thing.
Just like last year, bro. It's gonna be a
They got waxed last year.
They got San Francisco, Kansas
Damn. Damn.
yeah.
San Francisco, they gotta go to the Packers.
Vikings got the first place record, so they gotta play a lot of teams this year. Yeah, like
that's true.
They get smacked.
I might have to change that to 9.
They have Cincinnati at towards the end of the season. Then they gotta go play against Green Bay, Detroit.
Chasing Jefferson. Love that.
I'm going 8.
Yeah, that 8-9 sounds.
Yeah, man. Hey, the one thing they ain't tell y'all is that like Jefferson can't play on real grass. That's crazy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, every time he got like,
he kind of. I was at the Commanders game. He kind of balled out, and that's grass, right?
Bro, you don't get almost 2,000 yards and can't play on real grass.
They on the stats. I didn't know. I
wouldn't know. Look at it like go back and look at it last year. Like all the games on turf, crazy. The ones on grass.
Nah, man, that Commanders game, he was out of.
No, he was good. Where's
the Commanders though, my guy? Like,
I'm like, St. Jude played well, man. St. Jude played well against him.
It's crazy today. My bad. I ain't my bad.
Your boy Alexander know about Scary Terry though.
Out all damn night, boy.
Alexander know about Scary Terry though. That's all I need to say. Y'all know about Scary Terry though. That's all I need to say.
All right, last team, man. Last team. Detroit. They were 9-8 last year, right?
Like this is what I feel like. I feel like they'll probably go like 8-9 and be they might even be better than they were last year. I just don't see like a big increase in their record.
I don't believe in Jared Goff like that.
I don't either. They
I
need
give
a
him 9.
quarterback. I'm shocked that they're still rocking.
The thing about it with him, the only thing that Goff has to do is just control the game. As long as he got turning the ball over.
At Kansas City first game, then Seattle, couple games, Green Bay, Carolina. Then they at Tampa Bay. Then they at Baltimore. Then Vegas. Bye. Then they at the Chargers. Like then they finish out this big. Oh, they got Dallas at the end. I mean,
they had no pressure last year. They're gonna be playing with pressure this year. So we'll see.
That's why they're not gonna live up to the hype. They gonna just have to.
Hey, I see a quick 7 L's right there in like the first 12 weeks.
I seen a story with Jared Goff already.
Who are their running backs this year? Because they lost Charles and they lost Swift.
Yeah, they got the dude from Alabama.
Gibbs carrying that joint 20 times a day. He carrying that joint 20 times a week, bro. He getting that raw 20 times a week. He getting paid. He getting paid like a first rounder, so you know they're gonna run him to the ground.
Yeah, you know they are. They got Gibbs, Muhammad Ibram, Justin Jackson, Jamar Jefferson, David Montgomery, and I don't know none of these dudes. Benny Snell.
Yeah, David Montgomery used to be for the Bears, right?
Yeah, he's the Bears.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Did he just get in like legal trouble yesterday or something? Like I heard he got into some legal thing yesterday.
Hey, look, man, it's the NFL offseason. Everybody gets in trouble.
Yeah,
bro.
I guess true.
Like live, real live.
Talking about Kamara, he's still playing.
That shit like 6-7 months long, man. Everybody gonna get in trouble.
I mean, Alvin Kamara got in trouble like 2 years ago. He's still playing, but like I don't know.
Yo, the funny part be when the season over and you find out about how niggas got in trouble during the season. Packers, bro. Niggas be doing goofy shit in Green Bay and they wait till after the season, like 3 months later, and be like, "Yo, he caught a marijuana charge, beat his girlfriend up, and then next thing you know, he be good by next season."
Right?
They be holding this shit. That's the great part about Green Bay, man. Brett Favre, all them niggas out there being filthy, bro, and they got away with it. They ain't say nothing.
Oh, all right, no.
Yeah.
It was love up there for him. God bless.
Hell yeah. And on that note, we're going to wrap it up, man. We appreciate Allyn, Trav, Abdullah coming on, bro. I always appreciate y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir.
We're going to get y'all back on during the season, bro. Definitely, man. And Trav, bro, we got to get you on for some college.
What's
True.
up?
True.
What?
It's smoke.
Yeah, you remember? No, he said bring them on after the Panthers game, so we'll do something.
All right.
Bring me on.
Do it. We can do
I'll
it.
be ready. I'll be ready after that Panthers game.
Oh boy.
All right.
Hey, have my money on time, bro. That's all I say.
So run it. Run that.
Say, I need my cash.
We'll see.
Straight cash. Huh?
But yeah, man, we appreciate y'all, bro, coming on, man. Appreciate y'all support, bro. We're gonna wrap this thing up, man. Until next time, we out.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.